Hello YouTube, how are you today? BD from BD Gaming here with another video for you guys. This time around we're gonna do the unboxing of one of the items that I thought really made my eyes on GearBest, let's say, and this would be the HX Outdoor Survival Straight Knife. So, as you can see from the description of this item, it seems to be really amazing, right? So we have G2 steel, G10, sorry, that's D2 material blade, which is, to my knowledge, the steel that pretty much all the good tools are made from. Then you got the Kydex sheet all in there, and apparently we have some sort of G10 handle, and of course the knife is also full tank. Now, the thing that interested me the most was the fact that they said that straight out of the box this knife should be sharp to an extent that it can be usable. Also that the edge is so strong that this guy here in these pictures is able to pierce to a sheet of metal, and also he can cut steel wire, as you can see here in this picture. Easy to cut iron wire, iron nail off. What does that mean? Is that this blade is not only really strong, but is also very sharp, and the edge should resemble somewhat of a chopping instrument, such as a machete or a small hand axe. That being said, stick with me guys, I'll be shortly back with the unboxing of this product. Alright you guys, so thank you for sticking with me. Now we are getting to the part with the unboxing of the product. So for that we are gonna need, of course, another knife. This is the number one rule. When you unbox something, have a nice knife ready. So, as you can see, it comes really nicely packaged. Let's see. So this should be actually really easy to cut down. Maybe we don't even need a knife. Let's see. I'm just cutting a little bit here. Should do the trick. Maybe getting in here a little bit. So the package is really okay. We can get this other knife out of the way now. Let's rip this open and get to our knife. So nothing else is in the package, but the package also has some bubble wrap in it, so this was a really nice package. So be gone with you. Now let's take a look at how this box looks. Rock has a lot of nice pictures on it. All the writing is in Chinese, of course. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. I'm trying to work around my camera as I'm doing this. Now let's see, how can we humanely open this box without ripping it? So, let's see what we have here. Okay, everything comes out in a pinch. So very nice box. I'm gonna put this aside. Okay, so the box. And this is the knife. The knife looks interesting. Okay. So let's slowly take it out. Don't want to cut my hand or anything. Okay. Let me try and make some more light here in this room. There we go. I think this is better now. Alright. Everything is in order. So, let's take a look at what we have here. So, indeed, the sheet looks and feels like it's made out of G10. It's really grippy. It's not too aggressive in its own state. And if we get to focus a little bit, you can see that there is some room here where water can drip out if you are in an open flood or something like that. And of course they also have this little tungsten diamond file on the side here. To be honest, I've never really used this with success, this type of sharpening tool. But I guess in a pinch it's better than a rock you found on the side of the road, right? To sharpen your knife. I don't know if this comes out. No, although it seems it's more inside here. Doesn't seem to get out of the sheet. So you actually have to use it like this. We'll see this later on. Now for the fire steel. This is a pretty decent size fire steel, brand new. Doesn't have the coating of the handle. I think this handle, I never quite liked the handles on the fire steels. They always seem to want to come off eventually. They're not really well glued in. But for the moment, this seems sturdy enough. Okay, I'm struggling with it a little bit. So as you can see, I'm taking off the coating with my bare hands, which I don't know if that's so nice, so good. But it certainly is not plastic, painted plastic. So this might actually be a fire steel. We'll test it later on. And now to the main thing. The blade. Can I take it off? Yes, I can. It has a little scraper here. So this is definitely supposed to be used to scrape your fire rod or your fire steel off. Has a really nice point to it. Let's see how we can grip this. So we can grip this like this. I have kind of medium-sized hands, and this is, I mean, it's just perfect for me. From the sound of it, this actually seems like hardened steel. We have here on the upper side of the blade some kind of autograph, Super TD or something like that. I don't know exactly who TD is, but hey, nice to meet you, TD. I'm BD. And here clearly says D2. Now that remains to be seen. I don't know exactly how you can test if the steel is what it is, but other features on this knife, well, first of all, let me tell you something, that this is really has a heft to it. It seems heavy enough to actually be considered a good bushcrafting knife, if you know what I mean. So I really don't like a knife that is so easy that you can basically lose it out of your hands when you're using it, alright? Now, here, on this side, you see that you have two holes here, and one hole here. This is clearly a lanyard hole, but these two are meant to be used for making this knife into a spear. And honestly, I don't know, that might come in handy. Who knows, right? And you also have a nice pommel that is actually called a hammerhead, right? Hammer, it says right here. It is steel. Seems to be attached to the rest of the blade. Does seem to be hollow though, from the sound of it. But on the other hand, this is very good if you need to actually break something like a window, or maybe some rocks. You need to break some rocks, or maybe you found some nuts or something like that. You need to crack them open. Bone, maybe you can break bone with this. Who knows? But this is quite interesting. I never had a knife with a built-in hammerhead. Again, I never actually bought a gerber knife. I understand that gerber knives usually have hammerheads as pommel, but this is quite interesting. Now, give me just a second and we will test the sharpness of the knife as it came out of the box. Alright, so let's test now the sharpness of the knife. So this is right out of the box. You can see I didn't do anything to the edges, just like before. I just went to pick up a sheet of paper so I can actually do an initial test on this. It does say in the ad for this product that you should really be careful with kids not to handle this around, because it's really dangerous and really sharp. So let's see if that has any meaning to it. So how am I going to do this with the camera in front of me? I don't know, but well, it does cut paper. Yep, it is sharp. It's just an inconvenience for me to cut it like this, because I have to keep the camera somewhat in between my hands. So this is going to be a blast on the incoming tests, but just have to work around it. But it definitely is sharp. Look at it. I mean, look at the way it cut the paper. Actually, you don't feel any kind of deformations here on the paper. So this is really sharp. You really need to be careful with this. But is it razor sharp? So let's see. Let's get some spit. Almost cut myself with it. Let's see. Getting some spit on the hand. And let's try and shave off. Well, I would say it's not really that sharp, but it does shave a little bit of hair out of here. I don't know if you can see this. It actually is scraping off the hair a little bit out of my hand. See? So it does actually shave a little bit. Not as I would like it to shave. That's another story, alright? So we'll put this for Tinder for testing the fire stuff later. But it is fairly sharp, alright? So that being said, let's see how I can test this with a one of these tough sticks that I have in my home. Put this here. We'll try to cut a little bit into this. Again, this is not the greatest position to try to do feather sticks, but I can tell you, from the looks of it, this actually works great. Even if I'm struggling with the way I'm situated between the camera and the knife, or rather the camera is situated between me and the knife. But as you can see, you can actually do some nice feather sticks. So I have no doubt this is a decent, let's call it a decent bushcraft knife. Alright, so how about some carving? Well, for carving though, I don't apply enough pressure on it, but it's definitely, well, I wouldn't do any kind of serious carving with this knife, but if you want to cut a stick in half, you can do that. So the issue is that because the fire scraper is situated here, and here you don't have enough of a knife back to work with, so you have to put your finger here, and actually it hurts. If you push on the stick like this, it actually hurts when you do that. But if you take it like a chopper, as I said, and you just strike the stick, that actually works better. So, is it a carving knife? Well, you can do some work with it, but I still would prefer to have a sharp Victorinox knife in my pocket to do the carving stuff and leave this one for other tasks like splitting wood and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I'm in my house right now and the weather is quite terrible outside, so I can't go outside and test the chopping, but I'm pretty sure this is a chopper and you can baton with it. I mean, it looks like a beast, so you can do that stuff. Alright, so the cutting part of the knife, it's surprisingly good. I have to be really careful with this not to cut myself actually. So what I'm trying to do now, I want to test the fire starter of the knife, and if we do that and that's successful, then I can indeed take this with me in nature into the woods and try it out for a month or two to see if this actually works well or not, because for now I'm indoors and the limited tests that I can do are not sufficient to declare that. However, it does seem quite reasonable sharp, and as I said, it has a heft to it. It's not heavy, but it is, and actually it's quite balanced, this knife, which is really good for a chopper. Now, this knife, to be a real chopper, it will need to have the blade a little bit longer, let's say kind of like here, and following the same line, just get thicker here, but then decreasing in thickness around here. That would be a good chopper, a perfect chopper in my opinion. But this could also work. I don't have any coconuts in the house. I could try the coconut test to see if this chops a coconut, but I don't have any for the moment. So that's a test for the future to keep in mind. But for now, let's take some out of here. Don't need that much. Let's put the knife here for a little second. So let's make this fluffy and nice. And hopefully I'm not going to burn my house down by trying this. Let's put this stick pieces here. Okay. Okay, we have a little bit of tinder. Let's take the fire steel now. So this is, I guess, how you should keep this, right? Okay, this is going to be interesting. Starting a fire with the camera in front of you. Oh man. Let's try this. Just scraping a little bit. Oh, okay. we definitely have spark. And there you go. So definitely a good fire starter, or fire rod I should say. Yep. Yep. This is really nice. Well guys, the conclusion would be, oh look, it left a mark on the black coating here when I scraped the ferro rod, but I guess it was to be expected, because coating like this on a knife that you should use in the outdoors. Well, the way this is intended to be used is put your thumb here, okay. Put your thumb here, grab it from here like this. You should press this, but if you do that, this is going to leave a burn on your hand. So you'll always want to do this, and if you do that, you're going to cut yourself, because this is a scraper, and scrapers usually are grinded down to 90 degrees, and 90 degrees is actually the starting of an edge, so you better be careful with that. If you keep your finger here, you don't want to do this fast, because you're going to cut yourself here. But overall, for the money that this thing costs, I say it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because it's so good. So I'm impressed with this knife. All right, let's put everything together. So this will go like this. And look at that. Look, you can't get this out of the sheet. This is ridiculous. This is a $100 knife right here. I hope that Prepare Mind 101 Chris sees this, because he's a very good knife designer, but all his knife designs by him are $100, maybe $150. So this is $40, Chris. And god damn it, this is a sturdy knife with a sturdy sheath. And you also get a decent fire steel in your package right there. So there you go. Let's get this out of the way. Let's put the knife here where we can see it. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It was a pleasure for me doing it. I'm so glad that this knife finally arrived. It took about 20 days to reach me, which is not a lot, keeping in mind that this came all the way from China. So it is a Chinese knife. This was just the unboxing video with some very fast, very fast ways of testing the knife, but I agree, this is not a conclusive test. So in order to properly test this, I will need a month or two in the wild, doing some serious testing on this knife. And after that, I'm just gonna come back and do a proper review video on this knife. Until then, thank you very much for your reviews. Please like, subscribe, and have a good day. Bye bye.